What's up, y'all? Monday is winding down, and Monday's become one of my favorite days because it's Mistake Monday, where I bring the millions of mistakes that I've made as a Division I athlete, professional athlete, and entrepreneur. I mean, millions, right? And so, one of the mistakes that I made was this like binary on-off, this or that mentality that I developed leaving college. So I'll give you an example, right? I was a student athlete, right? So when you're a student athlete, you got to juggle a lot, right? You're getting up, you're going to practice, then you go to work, then you go back to get shots, then you go to study hall, and then, from there, you're going back to late night practice, whatever. I mean, it's a lot. And plus you're dealing with distractions. You also have to have a decent GPA if you want to continue to play. So you've got a lot of different pieces that you're handling. And so I got really good at handling all these different things. I had a 3.8 GPA. I was a captain on the team. I had a girlfriend. I mean, there's a lot of different things going on. And then once I graduated, I made the decision, okay, I'm either going to go to work or I'm going to be a professional athlete, right? That's it. Cool. So I graduate, boom, I work out, I get a contract. I'm now a professional athlete. Well, what does that mean? That means this student gap is empty. So I was a student athlete managing all this different stuff. Boom. Now I'm a professional athlete and I've got all this idle time. And what am I doing with it? I'm watching Friends. I'm watching Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. Now I'm going out. Now they say idle time is a devil's playground. When you have, if you go into a neighborhood that's in a city that's not the safest city, and you see people just hanging around, you see cars just parked and people just, the doors are open, music bumping, like there's a lot of idle time. This may not be the best place to be, right? So, but we deal with this all the time. Let's look at the other side. We got a lot of people that, again, they're student athletes, or maybe there are a lot of different programs in their community. They're doing different programs at school and all this different stuff. And they graduate, and now they are so focused on looking for a job, they find a job, and then guess what? Idle time. And what do they do with that idle time? Well, maybe they go on a 1-year break or whatever, but then it's just idle time. And if you're not careful, that'll develop this mindset of scarcity where it's like you start to become this fractured version of yourself where you choose one or the other. Hey, I'm an athlete, or I'm doing business, work, school, all this different stuff. And so if you can make the decision that, hey, when you're in school, the moment you graduate or the second you're ready to go do your profession, that the rest of your time you will still use as productive time, whether it be, you're working in your career and you're still working out, you're playing sports, or you're being creative, right? Or, hey, for my example, if I could have went back, what I would have done, and I started to do it once I started to realize, like, I'm kind of wasting my time here, is I'm a student athlete, I'm juggling both. And the second I get a contract to be a professional athlete, now on my free time, I'm building something. It could be a business, it could be a brand. I start investing, maybe I'm studying something, whatever the case may be, continue to do that piece, but not, and here's a big mistake too, not because you think this isn't going to work out. That's the big mistake. Oh, this is your backup plan. No, this is the plan, right? If you, there's a guy named Myron Rolle. He spoke at our school once. He was a neurosurgeon and a professional athlete and an NFL athlete. And he just so happened to know that as human beings, we have a capacity where we can handle more than we think, okay? And so he was an athlete and a Rhodes Scholar, and that was his plan. And so a lot of times we tell kids, hey, yeah, try to be an athlete. And this is from an athlete. Try to be an athlete, but you need a backup plan. Well, a backup plan would mean that plan A is not going to work. That means you're living based off of the idea that you're going to fail. No. Instead, let's teach young athletes, hey, play your basketball, cool, and build your brand, not because it's a backup plan. It wasn't a backup plan for LeBron James. It was part of the plan. And that's why he was able to live with such abundance, because he knew that he as a human being is capable of more, can handle more, because we have bigger capacities than we think. And so whether you're an athlete who's not doing anything outside of it, or whether you have a full-time job and you think you have no time for nothing else, you're limiting yourself. You're cutting off your purpose because you think that job is so big that you can't handle anything else. It's not that big of a deal. You go in from 9 to 5, you get off. You have the rest of your day to do nothing. Maybe you have kids and that's what you're building as well, right? But just understand your capacity is bigger. And there was a time when you were a kid and you were going to camps and you were going to school and then you were, well, you know, playing video games or whatever, where you were able to do all these different things. It's not that you can anymore, that's your mindset has learned scarcity. And here's the thing, you weren't born with it, you were conditioned into it. And so we have to unlearn some of the bad things to open up our minds again to realize, whoa, I can do way more than I thought. And once we understand that, man, it gets real scary how powerful you can be. So anyways, that's my biggest mistake, was buying this limiting belief that once I was done school, I had to choose one. No, I can be an entrepreneur and be creative and start working out again. And right. And y'all, I'm just saying, dude, I'm capable of doing so much more when I make that decision to do so.